Hi, I'm Thelma of Seasonal Crafts and Creations. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. Today I have for you some fun and easy to do Dollar Tree crafts. So without further ado, let's get to crafting. Okay, for our first DIY, I already used this picture frame before, but what I do, I just take the back off. Move all this aside because it's going to stay in. Get you some contact paper. I'm just going to use what I have left on this one. Line it up. Just trace it all the way around. Trim it. Go a little bit inside of the line that you drew. That way it won't be too wide and it won't buckle up at the ends. Okay, there's that one. Now on this one, let me see. I printed out this bunny and this bunny off of Pinterest.com. All you need to do is just cut around the outside of the bunny, and then it'll be ready to put in the picture frame. Okay, once the bunny's cut out, just take it, put the glass back in, let's see which way I want this. Make sure your bunny's facing the right way. I'm using some Elmer's school glue. You don't have to use a lot because it's going to be in the picture frame. And put everything else back in. And this is what it looks like. Okay, now we need to cut out the other one. Okay, after you have the bunny and the contact paper, or the craft paper I should say, let's go ahead and put everything together. Just get a little bit of Elmer's glue on this. Sorry if my voice keeps going in and out, but I'm dealing with allergies and a cold. Make sure it's straight. sure it all goes in with the little things here that hold the back on. And let me see. Just push them back. Okay, and here's, still has the tag on it. Let me take it off. And that's what it looks like so far. Next, we're going to get some of this diamond wrap from the Dollar Tree and just measure it and cut it. Get you some of these finger protectors if you have any, so you don't burn your fingers. Just put you some glue going down through here. Make it flush and straight. Now do the bottom. Do the same thing. And then do the same thing to the sides. Okay, for our next project, you'll need one of these Easter bunnies and some apple barrel white acrylic paint. I got this from Walmart. Just spread it out and put a little bit. Get you a good paintbrush. I've got this large one here. And just start painting in a straight line. That way it's all even. And put it on pretty thick, because this does absorb, this wood, it absorbs the paint. Get that down, that way when I lay it on it, it doesn't stick to it. Go around the sides. And I have a piece of hair right there. Just a nice thick coat going all the way around it. If you have any of your hair brushes, just hurry up and get it off. That way it doesn't dry to it. And apparently I didn't get that there. Just remember to go in the same direction. Get that hair. There, I finally got it. And then once you're finished with it, we'll set it aside and let it dry while we're working on the other project. Okay, our next project, while that one's drying, is you want to take some of these yard signs that well, it went like this, and get a screwdriver, or I use this paint scraper with a hammer and just slowly tapped it down there. Well, I didn't. My son did for me. And you just, once you get them off, there are going to be some ridges in it or just some roughness. Take a piece of sandpaper and just sand it down. And sand the whole thing, especially where the tag was. You want to take that off too. And all you want to do is just paint. If you're going to use these signs against a wall or something, then you don't need to paint the back. But if you are going to use them to hang, I'm going to put a hanger right here and hang them up with my small eggs that I showed you all how to do, and I put them up here in the kitchen, and I'm going to put them in between them. But so I'm going to have to paint the back of them, and there's 4. But each one of these are different. You can get these either at the Dollar Tree or at Family Dollar. And all you want to do is just put you some white paint and just paint it. One good coat should do. And don't get it going over the edge. Just go slowly, because you don't want to ruin the egg on the other side. Just slowly go around the edge. Real small strokes. That way it's not going to go along the ridges here. And it's just, if you're hanging it or going to have it in front of a mirror, you want the back to look pretty and not all scraped up from taking that sign pole off and the price tag. But just make sure you sand it first. One coat should do it. Just make sure you get it all where you can't see the wood coming through. I'm just going to show you, I have 4, but I'm just going to show you how to do 1 to let it dry. And that's all you do, and then you set it aside and you let it dry while we're working on another project. Okay, now that the bunny is dry, we're going to do the eyes and, well, the face. So just, I'm using a Sharpie, and I'm going to draw the eyes. And go ahead and just color them in. You can paint them in if you want. Just do straight strokes or small, even ones. Okay, now I'm going to use a pink one to do the nose. Just try to get it as even as you can. And now, let's do some little eyelashes on her. And do the mouth. Go straight down. and a curve here and a curve here. And now let's do the whiskers. Do 3 on each side. Now in next week's DIY, I will be doing a male bunny to show you that's just like this one, but we'll be doing the male one. Okay, now for the feet, let's just do an oval, circle, and 3 round ones. Do the same over here. And 3 round ones. And then color them in. Do nice even strokes. Now, this one's a little bit wider, so we can take this and go out some. And just make it even. Now, let's do the pink in the ears. Like that. And just start coloring it in. Just nice even strokes like I'm doing. And now color it in. Now the last thing we'll be making is a bow. I'm going to put up here. Okay. I'm using this egg ribbon. Trying to get the plastic off. Let me get this off and I'll be right back. Okay, now just measure how big you want your bow. make sure this is flat on this end, over here on this side. Just like that. See how that goes right there? And now measure it. Alright, now I'm using some jute rope, pink, and I am going to wrap it around this several times. Get it tight and make sure you're even with it. Okay, now make sure it's even. And then tie it real tight on the back. I'll show you how to straighten that out. Double knot it. And then cut these off. Now, as you can tell, it's even because you checked it. Put the glue right on the jute rope. That way to make sure it stays tied. And push down on it. And here's what this one looks like. Okay, before we continue with the projects that I'm working on, I want to show you all what's going in the giveaway box for this week. And it's this cute little purple Easter gnome. Look at those ears. And there's that little nose. And that's the back. Got little feet and hands. And this is what's going in today on Friday. Okay, now let's continue on with our project. Okay, after the back of your Easter eggs have dried, flip them over. They come 4 different designs. Flip them over and get your glue gun. And the little bow that's on the stand, because these came off of yard stands and it was on the under the egg like that. Just pry them loose, and first we're going to put it right up here, or you can make a different bow if you want. Just put it right here in the center. Push down on it to make sure it takes. Then flip it over and get some jute rope or ribbon. It doesn't matter what you get. Tie it into a little loop. That way this is going to be what you use to hang it with, if you hang it. If you don't, then you don't have to worry about putting this hanger on. Well, I'm not the fastest tire, y'all. Okay. Now I'll just go ahead and cut the extra off. Make sure it's down where you can't see it. And center it. put some on the bottom and on the top, and then get off of your tag, just cut a little square out and put it right on it. That helps hold the glue. And this is what they look like. Okay, for our next project, I'm going to be using this vase that they have at the Dollar Tree right now. With its purple and mauve colors, it just blends in perfectly for spring. And I'm going to be using these. All it said on it is greenery, and I have two of the same kind, two of these, and one of these. But you can use whatever kind you want. And I'm just spreading them out. And then putting one of the other ones in. And one of these. Just spread them apart and arrange them. And then I have these dahlias. They come in this color, and I know they come in white, and they might come in a light pink. But because of the color of the vase, I figured I would just add them to this flower arrangement. Just arrange it until you're happy with the style, with the arrangement. Okay, and I'm going to make a bow going around it with this. I'm going to find out where I want my front to be. But you can arrange it, and then after you get your bow on, you can continue to arrange it. Anyway, I'm going to cut off a pretty big piece. And just tie a bow around it. Just like a shoelace bow. And once you get it, just if it's inside out, just flip it. And then flip your tail down, and then do the same to the other side. Just arrange the bow, and now tie it a little bit tighter and hold it. Hold the right there where it connects at. And then ducktail it, just fold it to where the wired ends are touching and go straight at an angle, and you should have a V. And do the other one like that. And there's, like I said, just rearrange it as you're going till you get it to the way you like it. And there's the flower arrangement. Okay, for our next project, you'll need one of these yard signs, and you'll need to take the stake off. I'm just using one of these paint scrapers. You can use whatever is easier for you to take yours off, but it just pops right off. And then I used this in this came off the eggs that I just did, or any other smaller stake would do just fine. So get you some sandpaper, sand this down, and do the same thing here. You might have to scrape some more of that off, but all you're going to do is glue that to the back of it. And if there's a nail in it, just bend it over. Just like that. Now get you some glue and put it right where the other stake was. Do quite a bit. Just push down on it to let it dry. Now set it aside. And I'm using one of these blue gnome baskets, and one of these 2 in a pack, the circle. Just lay it down in there. Now the handle, put it off to the side. That way you're not cutting it, and you'll be able to use it later if you want to. And then this came off of one of the poinsettia Christmas flower plants. I just took the poinsettias out. Just sit it down in here. Now if you don't plan on using this for something else, just go ahead and glue it all in. Now you're going to need some flowers. I have some roses, and I'm just going to get a mixture of flowers and go ahead and cut the stems off, and go ahead and take all of them off of each one, because you're going to need a lot of flowers. Okay, after you have the foam in, get you some grocery bags or anything, plastic or paper. Just evenly put it down in there. And then on top, you'll put something else. That way the Spanish moss will go on evenly, and it'll look better. It's this tissue paper. Just put it down in there. And put the other on the other side. Bring it up some, that way you don't have to fill it in so much with Spanish moss. Okay, now start putting your darker flowers in, like your roses and any other flowers that are dark. Straighten your stem out if it's bent. I'm going to start putting the these 2 flowers in first. Just make sure your stem's straight. Some of them might have got bent while they were in the store. Just put one each, every other one. I have like a pink, a red, a pink. Put you some in the center. Just find all your pink ones and your roses, or whatever color your, whatever kind of flower you have. Alright, now just separate them. And I have some more of these kind. Spread them out. I'm just picking through and getting all the ones that I'm... Here's another one of these. And another rose. Just seeing if I have, excuse me. Let's have a few more of these. Let's just spread them out. And this is going to be a real full flower arrangement. So now I'm going to put in some of the white ones. I have different kinds of white ones. Just going to grab a bunch of them. Bring your leaves up. Excuse me. Put some in the center, some of the white ones. Doesn't take a lot really to fill this up. Just turn it around to see naked spots. And then I'm going to put some baby breath in it. The last of these white flowers. Just go around and see any naked spots, just fill it in with them. Put one more right over here. Now I have some of these right here. They have little flowers on them and little berries. They come about 5 stems to a thing of flowers. And you can get these in all different colors. Just arrange them out all throughout the flower arrangement. Alright, now the last thing I'm putting in is the baby breath. This really does add some beauty to a flower arrangement, baby breath, and it helps fill in any naked spots. Just go around it and fill in as you work your way around it. Okay, this is and then I found another one of these. Just put it in there to arrange it real nice. And then I have one more I'm going to put over here of the baby's breath. Okay, the flower arrangement is finished, all but I have the sign that I made. That's where the sign comes in. Now, there's the front of it. So just stick it in right there. And I'm trying to get this up where you can see it. Here's what the flower arrangement looks like. Okay, for our next project, you'll need one of these little chicks or bunnies. It depends on the okay, my mind went blank. It depends on the gift bag that you get. If it's got chicks on it or bunnies or whatever, then you get your little wooden ornament. And I put some spackling in it and smoothed it over with my finger and let it dry. And then I sanded it down. No, baby, you can't come over here. Go on. And you will need one of these wall decors. It can either be this one or it could be any shape, bigger or smaller, that you want. And maybe, it depends on how it looks, maybe some stickers of your choice. And I'm painting my chick yellow and the beak and feet orange. So just get just a little bit. And paint the whole thing, just all but the beak and the feet. If you go over and it makes a little clump, just take your brush and go over it like that. If something is in the paint, just do like I did and wipe it down. Or if you have too much paint on your brush. The paint didn't want to come out at first, but then when it did, a bunch of it came out. So I'm going to be wiping away a lot, but do one thick coat, because this wood does have a tendency to absorb the paint in. So just make sure you don't have any streaks and go in one smooth direction. You don't want to go all over. Okay, now just check and see how that is on top. See how it came over a little, so just wipe it down. Okay. Now, I'm just using a tumbling tower, which I'm going to be using in this project, but let's just hold it up so it doesn't dry any on the cardboard. Now, on the orange, which is for the beak and the feet, I'm just going to put just a little bit on the cardboard here, because you don't want to take a chance of too much coming out. And I'm using a small paintbrush. My cat just pushed my sign over. I'm going to have to put him down. Come on, you got to get down, baby. Go on. Okay. Let me just get this wiped off for a second. Now just get a little bit of the the paint. And paint the beak. And then paint the feet. Doesn't take that much paint at all on this. Just do small strokes, that way you don't get it up into the yellow. Put just a little bit more. Give it like 2 coats. And while this is drying, we will be working on the rest of the project. Okay, while the little chick is drying, flip over your sign. And let's just take the back off. Now get your gift bag and measure it up. I'm doing mine under the handle here. Go down under it. And just trace it. Going all the way around it. Okay. Now just take your scissors and go ahead and cut straight across. Make sure this is even. Well, let me cut the other side off here. Alright. Well, apparently that was folded. Now just One best way, I should have used this to trace it. So just make sure it's straight. I guess you can hear my kitten playing. She talks to her little toys when she's playing. I think it's cute. She took one of those 4 gnomes ornaments that you got at the Dollar Tree, 4 in a pack. Well, they could have been little Santas too. They were red and white. Anyway, she took one and claimed it for herself, and she's been playing with it non-stop every day. She likes it more than she does her little cat toys. Now just trim this up. Alright. Now I do believe this is perfect. Alright, now I have some Hello Hobby wax antique finishing wax. I have some paper here. I'm going to put a little on it. This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. Got to get this seal off. Let me get it off my finger. Alright, now I'm going to shake it up. And what I'm wanting to do is distress this, and I hope I'm going to be doing it right. I'm just going to use a little bit on this napkin here. And just go over it. If I'm doing this wrong, could you leave me a comment what I did wrong? Because I think I'm doing it right, but I'm not for sure. I'm just getting it out of the lid. And I'm doing the inside here. I'm just wanting a little bit on it, not a lot. Another one and just wipe it down. Here, baby, you gotta get down. Can't be around this paint. Alright. Now, I'm just gonna set this over here out of the way. And get the just moving stuff so I don't make a mess. now I'm going to get this and use this Elmer's school glue. It's purple. After I get the happy off, okay, it's going to take a while, so I'll be right back. Okay, after I used the spackling scraper, it took a lot of redoing it over and over to get it down. Then I sanded it down, and it's nice and smooth. So now get your, whatever you're using to put the picture on. And I just like using this because I don't have to worry about bubbles or anything. Or like on the glue gun, I don't have to worry about the glue making like bumps in it. And you have to kind of be fast with this or it will dry. Just smooth over it. When it's nice and smooth, then you have it. If there's any paper overlapping, just cut it off. Now go ahead and put your picture back in. Be sure to push them down. They might be hard. These are. They're real hard to push. Okay. Now, the chick is dry. What we're going to do is get some glue. Use your glue gun or your E6000 or whatever. Put your glue. Just make it go straight across or straight up and down. Now get you some more glue. Okay, if you like today's DIYs, I hope you give it a big thumbs up. That really helps my channel grow. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my future uploads. And you will be entered into the giveaway contest that I have going on. Alright, thank you. Y'all have a great day.